Hi, this is Tutor Nick P, and this is noun phrase 38. The noun phrase today is horror story. Okay, so let's take a look at the noun. You can refer to any unpleasant experience or event as a horror story, as long as it's serious enough. It can't be too simple a story. It has to be really one you say, oh, that's terrible, that's really, really bad. Then you might say something like that as a horror story. Now, a horror story can also refer to a story actually from a horror movie. So it can refer to like imaginary events. But the way we're using it here in these examples is we mean some experience that somebody had that was a real true experience. And they describe going through these experiences as a horror story. So let's look at example number one. His first marriage was a horror story. His ex-wife used to cheat on him and then brag to him about it. So you can imagine bad enough that she cheated, but then she used to kind of like rub it in and tell him about it. And, you can imagine how painful that would be. She also spent his hard-earned money on drugs. After their divorce, she got both alimony and child support. So this poor guy had to pay a lot of money because I guess he did not marry very well. And still spent his money on drugs while his children would go hungry. So if somebody was telling you about this being their real life experience, this would be a real horror story. Yeah, unfortunately, I have heard of a few cases like this. Let's look at number two. I heard a horror story about how ISIS abducted that young Christian girl and turned her into a sex slave. Every day she was repeatedly raped numerous times. So every day that's all she had to look forward to. That would be her day. We sometimes could say also that would be like a living hell. It was a horror story until we found out she eventually escaped. But while she was going through it, it was a real horror story. And even when she tells about it later, it's a horror story. Anyway, I hope you got it. I hope it was clear. Thank you for your time. Bye-bye.